Hey everyone, welcome to the Purple Tiger Fibers podcast. I am your host Shay. I am coming to you from New England, and today's podcast episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of whips, a couple of finished objects, and a couple of new acquisitions. It's probably going to be a shorter episode, but I wanted to share with you anyway. I'm going to start with the finished objects, starting with the one I have on. This is a in the round yoke sweater that I made. I think I cast it on the last podcast. I think I had started it. It's been 2 weeks, so I decided I would frog an old project. If you watched my Everything I Made Almost in 2023 video, I showed you a piece made out of this yarn. This is a repurposed yarn. I stole it from two different sweaters. It is 100% acrylic mixed with 100% merino, and it kind of created this boucle fabric, which is really, really cute and soft. So I had made more of a like whimsigoth style top out of it, but it wasn't something I was reaching for, and I really wanted to not waste the yarn because I really like the color. So I decided I would make kind of a everyday kind of workhorse sweater for my closet, and I really have been into this sort of yoke style construction since I started making these sweaters like the one behind me. I have played around with color work the last month or so since the new year, and I really like that construction. It's pretty easy for me, and it fits me well because I have more of a sloped shoulder. So, and I also wanted something that was a little kind of open along the neckline. This doesn't have any shoulder shaping. It is a self-drafted piece. I did write down what I was doing so that I could make it again and maybe make it into a pattern in the future. I will try to leave like some video footage of me actually like showing you like a little bit better of what it looks like on, but I am really, really pleased with how it came out, and it's really like, I think it's going to be a good one for like spring as well. It's kind of open. I used a US size 7 needle on it, which is a little bit bigger than I think I really needed to, but I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more of an open gauge so that I could wear it as like a layering piece as well, like over your tank top or whatever for like springtime, which hopefully is coming soon. New England, you know, we get spring a little bit later here. So there's still at least a couple of weeks left. We're at the beginning of February right now. So that is my first finished object, and I really like how it came out. So my second finished object is a vest. A vest, a corset. It's very Hobbit inspired. Let's just say that. I have been wearing a lot of dresses with tights lately, and I really like having another like layer, like a vest, or I've made some corsets out of yarn that are basically like a vest, but they look a little bit more, you know, a little bit more fanciful. they look a little bit fantasy. Anyway, I really like that look. I've always liked that look. It's very like cottagecore, like it's kind of like a little bit goth from like growing up. So anyway, I wanted to make some more pieces. I was working at the bakery that I sometimes work at, and I realized that I really wanted like a layering piece to go over the dress. So, and I do have a couple, like I said, but I wanted to make a couple more. And I have this, sorry, I have a dog, and as soon as I finish an item, I swear it's covered. If you have a dog or a cat, you probably know, but so ignore the hair. I wanted to make a vest that was going to be very much so inspired by like a Hobbit sort of a vibe. And so here we are. I have this really pretty green. It is acrylic. I am still trying to work through a little bit of the acrylic stash that I have left. And it is the Lion Brand 1 pound. And I think the color was Hunter. I don't know if they still carry it. I got it about a year ago, and it's pretty soft. It obviously isn't going to have the same like memory as your wools will, and I really do want to make this pattern in a wool. I would really like to make it in like a brown, or even like I don't know, like a cream color or a dark red. But so this is what it looks like, and it does open completely. I've made some in the past that I just put buttons on for funsies, but I reused these beautiful buttons. They are thrifted a really long time ago, and they've just been sitting in my stash waiting for the right moment, and I think I found it. So I started with the back, and it's worked completely like from one side to the other. So the back is just 2x2 rib, and I did some shaping around the neckline and the back of the arms, and then I switched to seed stitch for the front because I wanted something textured. And this would come out beautifully if it was a wool yarn. It would kind of puff up and be really like smushy and stuff, but it's not going to do the same thing with the acrylic, but that's okay. I wanted something that I was going to not be afraid to get dirty if I wore it to work. So, and then it has kind of that like corseted point down at the front here, and I just did it has like a knit button band, and then I am somebody who knits and crochets, so this has a crochet trim all the way around because I find that stabilizes your fabric better, and I wanted this to be a more structured piece, even though it's you know, I mean, how structured is it going to be? It's yarn. But so that is my number 2 of my finished objects, and that leads me into my whips, which consequently is another one of those vests. So I am working on actually making a pattern. I kind of started this from my other corset pattern. I used the same stitch counts to start, and then I kind of modified it as I went. So, and I am doing this on straight size 7 needles because it's easier than trying to do it in the round. But this is kind of what it's looking like so far. This is the same kind of yarn, just a different colorway. I don't know what the name of this color was. I have so long ago lost the ball band for it, and I don't remember what the color was called. But this is kind of what it looks like in the process. It looks like hilariously small because it's got the ribbing. And yeah, so we're working on a second one of those, and it's almost done. I'm almost finished on that second front panel, and then I'm just going to be doing the finishing and find it some beautiful buttons. So that is my first whip, and then my second whip is this guy. And if you saw my other video from either last week, or I hope I posted it already. If I didn't, I will be. I did a little bit of a knit and chat, and I was working on this as I was doing that. And this is going to be a cardigan. So this is a little bit inspired by the 1970s. I really like those kind of really chunky, cozy 1970s A-line cardigans that have like the tie in the front. So that they're adjustable. I really have always wanted one of those. I don't know why I've never I've thrifted them in the past. I never kept one for myself for whatever reason, but I really wanted to make one. So I got this beautiful yarn. I had some Christmas money. This is again, it's Lion Brand, but this is the Fisherman's Wool. And what is the color? I'm going to be showing you in a second the actual yarn in my acquisitions portion. The color is Nature's Brown. Okay, Nature's Brown. So it's a really pretty kind of, I don't know, like gorgeous natural brown shade. And I am starting the bottom with, it's kind of hard to like show you guys like what's in my mind. I tried to like draw a picture of it, like what I had in my mind, and it like didn't come out very good, so I'm not showing you. But basically I'm working it bottom up. So the bottom area is going to be just regular knit. And then I'm doing a variation of a broken rib throughout the body. And then my plan is to do another section of knit around like the smallest portion of my waist so that it kind of gives that more A-line shape. And then the rest is going to be the same broken rib. And I think I'm going to do a balloon sleeve for my sleeves. And I can't decide if I want to do a set-in sleeve or if I want to do a drop shoulder. Drop shoulder is more like cozy comfy, but I do want this to I want it to kind of span a couple of aesthetics because I'm a person who can't decide what I like. I like everything from bohemian and kind of southwestern, almost like Western inspired clothing mixed with your like granola girl and kind of indie. And I also really love like cottagecore and, you know, grunge and goth. And on top of that, I love history and I'm very inspired by like historic pieces. So I need something that's going to be able to kind of like make sense to wear with all of those eras and genres. And let's not forget the 70s. Obviously, I like the 70s. So we're gonna attempt to kind of vaguely make this fit in with all of those categories. And it is gonna be a longer line cardigan. I think I'm gonna maybe bring it to just around my knee because I am a petite lady. I often need to, well, I don't need to. I can look short if I want to, but I don't like to. So I often try to make my pieces kind of not stop at my widest point. So because I am a pear/hourglass shape, I need to kind of bring it down a little bit further past my like hips so that it kind of sits a little bit lower than that in order to kind of visually elongate myself. So we'll see exactly where I stop. But that's the second work in progress I have, which is going to lead me into my acquisitions. I have two. Like I started to show you, I have this fisherman's wool. It is in that, what did I say it was? Nature's brown. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this. I was watching another podcast. I think it was Wool Needles Hands was talking about how surprised she was with the working with this yarn. She had made, I think she made her Franken sweater with it. And it, like, she really liked it. I think she held it with something else, but I am working with just it. And it's like, it doesn't feel super duper soft in the skein, but working with it on my hands and stuff, I think it's going to be perfect, especially after it's blocked. I think it's going to be great. And it's not super thick. I don't know what the weight, it just says medium. So I guess it's probably like a DK weight. It's pretty, like, it's pretty reasonable, and I didn't pay a lot for it. I think this is a great entry-level wool to use. I think it's $12 a skein at my local Joann's. I think I paid $10 because I got it on a sale. But I got enough of this to make a cardigan, and I maybe bought too much, and I might have enough to maybe do a colorwork sweater or a crop sweater as well, which will actually be good because I really like this color. So that is acquisition number one. Acquisition number two is this. So please ignore whatever fuzz and hairs on it. I set it down near the dog for some reason, and now it has hair on it. But this is a thrifted cone of, it says, the tag is old, so it says something about wool. It says it's 100% wool of some kind, but it is in the color plum, and this is extremely thin. Like, it's probably like embroidery thread, but there's, oops, I just lost the ball that I was making like down inside here. There's so much of it that I thought, hold on, I think I can take this and make balls and then work the balls together and hold it like times like 4 or 5. And because there's so much of it on this cone, I think I can still make at least one garment out of it, even holding it like whatever, like 4 or 5 times. So it was $3 because I got it on half off day, and I really like the color, so I decided I would attempt it. So stay tuned for whatever the heck I make out of that. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you made it to the end of the video. I know today was a shorter one. I hopefully will have more to show you in the next one. Don't forget to leave a little yarn emoji down in the comments if you made it to the end, and a like, and if you're not subscribed, that would be awesome if you did. I really appreciate you. You're beautiful. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.